In this video, we're going to wire up a new state variable to our color screen component. So to do so, we're going to go through the same series of steps that we just did inside of our last mini application. I'm going to first begin by going up to my import statement from React up here, and I'm going to also import useState. Remember, we refer to this thing as a hook, and it is a function that adds some additional functionality to a function component. So then inside of my color screen, I'm going to declare a new state variable. So I'll say const, those square brackets, I'll say colors. That's what I'm going to call my state variable, and set colors. I'll then call useState, and then inside of my useState call right here, I'll provide the default value or starting value for this colors variable. So as we mentioned, we want this starting variable to be an empty array like so. Okay, so now inside of our button element, we're going to add in an onPress handler. And whenever a user taps that thing, we're going to try to update the value of colors using the setColors setter. So on my button element, I'll add in an onPress prop, and I'll pass it an arrow function like so. I'm going to give this arrow function a body just to give myself a little bit of space to work with. So then inside of here, we need to somehow add a new color to our colors array without somehow modifying it. In other words, remember, we don't want to make any changes to the state variable whatsoever. You might think that we could add in a new color by adding something like colors.push, but this push method is going to modify that array. And again, we don't want to ever modify these variables whatsoever. The only way we change it is through the use of setColors. So in order to add in a new element using the setColors function, we're going to write out setColors, and we're going to write out some kind of interesting syntax here. I'm going to put in a set of square brackets, and then ... colors, and then a comma, and then we're going to add in our new color by calling random RGB. So random RGB like so. So what's going on here? Well, essentially, we are creating a brand new array by putting in a new set of square brackets right here. The ... colors then means take a look at the colors array. Take all the elements inside there and add them inside of this new array. Now that does not remove anything out of colors. It's not a destructive operation. Using this ... just says take a copy of everything inside that array and add it into this new one right here. And then after that, we're going to add in a new entry by calling random RGB. So the result should be that we call setColors with a brand new array that has everything from the original colors variable right here and our brand new one. Okay, and that should be it. So for right now, rather than focusing on how we can somehow make use of that array of colors by showing a bunch of different views, let's instead just do a console log of colors and see how that array changes over time. So I'll save this file and we'll do a quick test. I'll go to color demo. We see one color automatically. Remember, that's because we have a hard-coded view inside of here. And then I'll tap on add a color like once, twice, and 3 times. You'll notice that every time we click on that button, the square right there changes. Why is that? Well, remember, anytime we change a state variable in any way, like with setColors right here, we're going to rerun this entire component. When this entire component reruns, that means that we update this view element as well. And so that view element gets a brand new randomly generated color. So that's why we are seeing that background color change every single time we tap that button. Now let's also take a look at the console log that we should see inside of our terminal. So I'll flip back over to my terminal. Here we go. And this looks pretty good to me. So we've got an empty array. That's our starting initial value. We then tapped on the button 1 time, and we added in a new color string to our array. We then tapped it a second time, and we got a second color. Then we tapped it a third time and got a third color added in as well. So this is perfect. We are now tracking some piece of data, or some collection of data, I suppose in this case, an array of colors that's changing over time. And as we just saw, every time we change that piece of data, our component re-renders itself, and so it updates the content on the screen. So now that we've got this array of colors right here, let's take a quick pause. When we come back in the next video, we're going to render a list of all these different colors by generating a list of different views. So quick pause, and I'll see you in just a minute.